You are welcome, welcome, welcome. You are welcome to today's webinar. So, guys, I'm excited to have you today. And if you are as excited as I am to be on this webinar today, I want you to simply type in the chat box, simply type one in the chat button. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's proceed. So on today's webinar, we're going to be talking about how to get paid thousands of dollars working every month as a freelancer in Nigeria. And this works even if you do not have a skill or you've never been paid in dollars before. Like if basically you've never had someone say, all right, so here's $100, which at today's exchange rate is basically 72,000 naira. Here's $100 for you writing this email for me, for you designing this flyer for me, for you just doing something simple, simply, even if it's just replying to their chats for them and the rest of that. You've never had an international organization pay you dollars. It cannot just be $100. It can be $1,000, it can be $2,000 and the rest of that. Then you want to pay full attention to what I'm going to be talking to you and showing you on today's webinar. Okay, let's move forward. Now, the goal of this webinar is to help you understand what freelancing is and for you to see the numerous possibilities of working with foreign clients and how it can upgrade your finances, which is what I believe everyone wants or what you want. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here watching this webinar, right? And now you see, unless you are already rich, the chances that the current state of the Nigerian economy is messing you up. I mean, think about it. Like about a year ago, something as basic as, let's say, spaghetti was like maybe was it like 350 or so or 400. And now it's getting like 450, 500 and the rest of that. About 2 years ago, it was like 350 to 300 and the rest of that. And now it's about 400, 450 per pack, right? And like, not just that, there are so many things that have actually increased. And that's not the only problem. And even if by chance you are doing pretty good, the recent Naira to dollar price crash must have woken you up and opened your eyes to the need to earn in dollars, because you don't want to be stuck in a limbo where if you're earning 500K a month, let's say basically a family man or maybe a young guy or young girl, you're earning about 500,000 a month. If you're earning that last year, January, it might have been pretty good, right? But like if you are still earning that same amount per month till today, which is basically September in this thing, 2022, then your money has significantly reduced. Your purchasing power has significantly reduced for a lot of reasons, actually, because the dollar has the Naira to dollar exchange rate has increased. The dollar has left us behind. Basically, it was about 500 and something last year, but now it's 720, right? But now take for instance, you are earning in what do we call it? Dollars, right? Now, if you were earning $1,000 last year, January, I'm sure you're probably earning around 500K per month. And now you will be earning around 720,000 thousand naira per month if you are still earning that same $1,000. Let's say something happened and your salary did not increase or your basic income did not increase, you are still making that same amount. You are making more money because you're living in a third world country and earning in first world income. So even if things have gone up, what you were able to comfortably afford last year, you will still be able to comfortably afford it this year because your income increased with it, or basically as your income remains steady instead of depreciating if you were still earning in Naira, right? So I'm going to be showing you all about that and how you can go about it on today's webinar, okay? Now, if you stay on to the end of this webinar, you will learn things like what freelancing is and how you can get started, where to find foreign clients and companies that pay you in dollars, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, how to choose a profitable skill to sell as a freelancer, and how to choose what niche to work in, and a whole lot more stuff, right? Let's keep moving. You will learn how to do all of this using the 4 fail-proof steps that I'll be showing you shortly. Now, who is this for? This is for you if you want to go full time and you recognize the tremendous opportunities that the internet brings to the table. This is also for you if you're working at a job or you're actively looking for a side hustle that you can earn part time with without quitting your job. This is also for you if you want to make money online without having to talk to massive amounts of people, right? Because like chances are that this you coming in here deep down, you know that all right, the key to you making as much money as you want to make in this life is in the online space. Basically, it's online, but you have not found what really resonates with you. Maybe you're an introvert, maybe you're an introvert like me, and you don't want to go into stuff like affiliate marketing where you have to talk to a bunch of people. Or maybe you are like an intellect or someone who just wants to get a certificate and also not just get a certificate, be able to work with foreign clients. That those jobs will be able to add it to your CV, add it to your resume, and also boost your distance. Because one thing that you want to think about when it comes to making money or getting paid really well in this world is skill. I like to think of skill simply as your economic value in the real world, right? So the more refined your skill is, the more special your skill is, the more pinpointed your skill is, the more people are willing to pay for you, the more in the high demand it is, the more people are willing to pay you more for it. But if you don't have any of those type of skills, then you are going to be paid little, right? And I'm going to be showing you how you can get these skills, how you can use these skills to get, at least if anything, at minimum $2,000 per month working for foreign clients as a freelancer in Nigeria. Not just foreign clients, foreign businesses, people who have business and the rest of that. I'm going to be showing you. So let's dive into it, okay? Now, what makes this different? What makes it different? You get to learn directly from someone who has actually walked the talk. Like, okay, so here's a screenshot of my profile on Upwork, top rated. This was this then. That was September 19th, right? I've earned over $13,000, 558. It's actually over $17,000, actually. It's not fully updated when I took this. It was not fully updated, basically, when I took this screenshot, right? So you want to be part of something like this, and this $17,000 basically was earned within 5 months, right? So that's an average of like 3,000, I think, right? An average of like $3,500 per month, right? And at today's exchange rates, that should be at our current exchange rate, that should be let's take a break. 3.5 times 720 naira, right? Because I just paid for some stuff online and it was like 720 they charged me. That's 2.5 million naira per month, right? And that's awesome. I mean, if you are a family man or if you're a student or you listen, I know how much took an extra 2.5 million naira would improve your life. And that's the great thing about that's like maybe a plus side to staying in Nigeria, because unlike us here in Dubai, where we have to pay a house rent of about 1.7 million a month if you want to stay in a really good place, 1.5 million a month, 1.2 million a month if you want to stay in a really good place. Housing can be quite expensive. It even goes up to 2.5 a month, right? You can just basically earn an extra $1,000 every month living in Nigeria, and rent is like what 500K a month if you're living in the big house, or maybe more depending on where you're living, obviously. But like still, it's basically yearly and it's quite cheap in contrast to what you're paying in the most expensive city in the world, right? So with that said, let's proceed. Now, before we get started, I would love to introduce myself. My name is Walter Eyinnaya. I'm a top-rated freelance copywriter. I'm a seven-figure freelancer. Actually, that's 8 figures now. I'm a mentor to over 2,000 plus students who have collectively done over $1.5 million in the last 1 year with my teachings. I am also a client acquisition expert. Now, here is how it all began. Before I was any of these things, before I even started to do this, and before I got to any of these things, I started from the worst scenario anyone could actually start from. To be honest, not a lot of people will get to start from where I start from, and that's awesome because it means that you can make faster progress than I did. It took me 4 years to get to where I am now, and it's going to take you way less to get to the level I'm at and even exceed it because you have a clear roadmap to actually follow through and get through it, and you don't have to struggle the way I was struggling, right? So this was me in my mother house back in 2018. I was working with low-paying Nigerian clients. I was being underpaid. I was a struggling copywriter. All right. Now you can look over at this picture and you can see my clavicle was showing. You can see how skinny I was. Like the god of Sapa was after my life then, right? Like you could see it. You can look at the background. You can look at the house and look at this. What is called is Mocha, a big font we used to call it, right? You can see how bad it looked, right? And this was inside of my mud house. You could see how soaked up the walls was. You can see the carpet was only half, the ground was bare, the bed is just there, no bed cover, nothing, right? I took this picture on the day I was moving out of the house, actually, for memories, for documentation. Now, until I learned how to freelance properly and land high-paying clients who pay me in dollars, I was now able to actually live at least some of my best life and be able to afford the things I want and upgrade in life, right? And now I'm able to afford the lifestyle I want, work out my own hours, meet people of high importance. Plus, I've made over $100,000 freelancing, right? So this is me with Honorable Aki Alabi, right? And this is me right here. This was back in 2021. This is me taking a picture in Dubai, where I am. And you can see right here, you can see this thing. You can see this should be the sky view, Dubai sky view hotel, right? That has a direct view of the Burj Khalifa. So in the next picture, you can see the Burj Khalifa at the beginning, and the background, right? And if you look over here, this is me in front of the Museum of the Future. This is me with another one of my mentors, Mr. Ronald Nzimura. If you don't know him, he is a great marketer who has done over 40 billion naira in sales selling to the Nigerian audience, right? So like I'm able to hang out with these high net worth individuals, people who are knowledgeable, people who are experts, people I would never have dreamt of connecting with, because obviously, why am I going to meet Mr. Ronald if not Dubai or something like that, right? I wouldn't be able to connect with them if I didn't start freelancing and actually stick with it through it. And I'm going to show you how you can take these results and get them for yourself too, okay? You want to know the best part of this? Awesome. The best part of this is that this transformation has not just happened for me, but for my students too. Okay. So here's one of my students, and he goes, "Hi, Walter. I hit $5,000 today." And he goes, "You can see it right here, $5,000 total earnings. He has done 17 jobs and worked 275 hours." And I was like, let's go. I'm super proud, right? Because it's awesome. Like there's a whole world out there that a lot of people do not know about because they don't have the information to go through with it. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know what skill to learn. They don't know any of these things to go through, right? So here's another testimonial. You can go with the tips you gave. I recently finally achieved this today. And if you look into this person, you can see that the person is earning, where is it again? I think there should be like, he's earning $800 for a simple web design job, right? So it's like a simple website. Now, that why $800 is amazing, because think about it, 800 times 720, right? That's 576K. Most Nigerians, individuals or businesses would not want to pay you more than 200K for you to build a website for them, right? They are always trying to cut costs. I mean, we are the poverty capital of the world. I think we're dragging that with India right now. So if you want to actually make money, you don't want to make money selling to broke people or selling your skills and services to broke people. You want to sell it to people who can actually afford to pay you premium amounts, pay you good amounts. And if you're selling to a foreign audience, you don't even have to do something super exceptional. Like this is a web design job. Now, if he does this job for 3 clients in a month, that's 800 times 3. That should be 2.4. That's $2,400, right? $2,400 times 720 would be 1.7 million naira a month, right? You can do this. Like there's nothing special that the person is doing that you yourself cannot do. What separates them is the information that they have and the actionable plan that they have step by step that you do not have access to. And by the end of this webinar today, you would know exactly what you need to do to be in that same scenario, living that type of life, working from the comfort of either your laptop, or you can work from your smartphone or any of those kind of things, right? So looking over here, you can see another of my students' testimonial, right? And it's F Young goes, I started to take some course on, I started to take a course on social media marketing and applied the same things we taught. Boom, I got my first gig at $1,000 for just working 10 minutes every day. Some days I don't even work at all. I recently have 3 interviews. I just got 1 gig on a sports clothing brand worth $6,000 to work 6 months. Then I'll get a retainer and equity in the company if I exceed expectations, right? This is awesome because aside, let's keep the money one side for an instance. Although it's like a big part of it, but let's keep it one side for an instance. He gets to get an equity in the company if he does well. This job that he's currently doing can easily be added to his resume or CV and show relevant stuff and help boost his career in the future and help him get paid more, right? Now let's look at the money aspect. Working 10 minutes a day, that's awesome. When you're working 1 hour a day, like it's bliss basically, because you have time to focus more on your family. You have time to focus maybe on even on that side hustle. And yet, at the end of every month, you're collecting a cool 720,000 naira every month without having to talk to tons of people. They just assign you your job. You get to do your job, and it's as simple as that. You get paid. You either get paid weekly or bi-weekly or the rest of that, right? But it depends. But like at the end of every month, you look into the credit balance coming into your account, and it's nothing below 720,000 naira working with just 1 client. Now, if you're working with like 2 clients, awesome, right? Yeah, you can make $2,000 per month and the rest of that. All right. And here's one more. He goes, Samuel Kokuma is like, boss, good evening. This is just a random appreciation message. You could have kept your knowledge to yourself and not shared it to us. Your selflessness is changing your life. I owe you another testimonial video coming forth. Is the least I could do, right? Awesome stuff. Because now at the end of the day, wow, money is good. Why people are making money? And Samuel here has made over $13,000 on Upwork, right? That was the last time I spoke with him, and that was like a month ago, I think. Like he has made over, I think actually like a month or 2 months ago, basically. He has made over $13,000 on Upwork. And bear in mind, you are not just going to be working only on Upwork. You're going to reach out to CEOs on LinkedIn. You're going to reach out to people on different platforms and get to work with them, right? Now, it goes just beyond that. So let's proceed so you can get the best out of this. To make this even better, it's not just a one-off type of thing, okay? Just because you got paid $2,000 doesn't mean you won't get paid more and make way more above that. Because if you are starting, you can make maybe $500 your first month, you can make $200 your first month, $200 your first month. And why these might sound like small amounts of money, $200 is about 140,000 there, right? It's like if your first month or your second month you make 140,000 there, like it's good progress. Like you're already getting like times 5 your return on investments, and basically you are making a lot of good progress. And the best part is you still get to keep this knowledge forever and also go ahead to make a whole lot more money, basically. Because obviously everyone starts small. When I started freelancing, my first gig was not existent. My first gig basically was 10,000 naira per month. I was working with Nigerians then, so at a point I was like, oh, I can't do this. I was staying in my mother house and I was like, I can't do that. I don't see myself getting rich working with clients. I don't see myself living this current situation of living in working with Nigerian clients. And I tried to go into finding foreign clients, right? And then the first gig I got paid for working for a foreign client was for a product description, basically 200 product descriptions. That job took me basically 5 days to finish, and I got paid $100. Then it was 36,000 naira that I got paid, but like $100 or 36,000 naira. Like imagine doing a whole lot more work throughout the entire month and making this thing just 10,000 naira per month, and then you do only one work that takes you 5 days. It could have taken me less if I actually wanted to put in more work, right? And that's a one-off job, right? And I got paid $100, which was 30,000 naira. That's more than 3 times my previous monthly salary in less than a week. Do you see how much leverage you have working with foreign individuals, working with foreign businesses that pay you in dollars, and why you want to actually earn in dollars instead of earning in naira? Awesome. I know you're getting hyped up for this, okay? So I get what I'm trying to say is that this works. Now, the question is, would you want to go through all I went through, or would you choose the simple, faster, or would you want to go through the simpler, faster, and straightforward way? I'll need you to respond with a firm yes in the chat box if you are with me. Okay, so I'm going to sip my water and you just reply down there. Let me know. Awesome, 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 awesome. I love the energy you guys are giving me in this webinar. All right, so let's proceed, guys. Now, one more thing before we dive in. You may be wondering whether you can or you can't do what I'm about to share with you today. And that is a very valid concern, because what you're really wanting to know is, will this be different? Will you finally be able to get the solution you've been looking for all this while? I believe, and the reason for that is because if you are on this webinar, the chances are high that this is not your first time trying to seek out an opportunity to make money online and earn in dollars, or maybe not earn in dollars, but basically make money online, right? And you might have seen the previous models and you're like, oh no, I don't feel like this is for me, and the rest of that. Well, that's entirely up to you. What I want you to do is, I believe that you can do this. And as we go through our presentation today, I'm going to show you how this unique approach seems to work from different people, right? Different people from different backgrounds, all with their own challenges. It doesn't matter if you are a married woman, you're a married person, a married woman, you're a married man. Doesn't matter if you're a student and the prolonged ASU strike currently is choking you by your neck. Doesn't matter if you are yet to get into the university and you're looking for something to actually keep yourself busy, or you are a graduate and you've gone out into the job hunting world and you're seeing like, oh, it's rough out there. Like companies are trying to pay you only 50,000 there for something, and the rest of that, right? None of that matters, right? This unique process I'm going to be showing you is going to be able to work, and you'll be able to actually imbue it into your current lifestyle seamlessly and actually get the work done and actually get paid thousands of dollars working with foreign clients. Okay, so watch out for how you're going to do that and pay close attention so you look out for that, and you should help you see that you too, in fact, can do this. Okay. Now, on that note, let's get started. So what is freelancing and how does freelancing work? Quite simple. Freelancing is basically, in simplest of definition, you working for multiple clients or working for multiple businesses or multiple individuals, right? So how does that work? Quite simple, actually. So let's say, for instance, you are currently working for Dangote Industries, right? Dangote Cement. And let's say you're doing something for them. Let's say you are their let's say something, you're the graphic designer, right? Let's use graphic design, right? You're the graphic designer, and at the end of every month, you are paid 200,000 naira, which is nice. But you working for them, sometimes you don't have to be on site for work, but basically, maybe you're working like 5 hours a day, or 3 hours a day, or 4 hours a day, right? That is hypothetical because lots of companies don't pay you up to 200K a month in Nigeria. Like that's high, right? But hypothetically, right? Now, if you're a freelancer, instead of working for just Dangote, you can say, okay, if Dangote Cement, you can say you're working for Dangote Cement. You are working not just for Dangote Cement, but Golden Penny Pasta, Milo Drinks, Milo Beverage Company, and rest of that. Now, if you're working for like 3 companies, you can charge each of them 200,000 naira per month. And basically, if you're working 3 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours, so basically, I'm working like 9 hours a day, if that's what you actually want, right? And you're making 600,000 naira per month, right? Now, bear in mind that this analogy is given with using Nigerians in mind. If you are taking this to the foreign markets, it's awesome because basically, why are you going to be charging 200K? Well, 200K is basically $300, right? That's way below their minimum wage, right? You are charging nothing less than $1,000 per month, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, $5,000 per month, right? And if just let's just for this thing for keeping it within the distance, let's say you're charging just $1,000 per month or $1,500 per month, you're already making over 1 million naira every single month working with foreign businesses, right? Now, if you take for instance the person I showed you, F Young's testimonial I showed you earlier, where he's earning $1,000 working just 10 minutes a day, right? If he takes that same job now and he's working for like 3 companies, and now maybe he's working like 4 hours a day because he has a high income. So I'm going to show you how you can get that and what the high income skill is, right? So if he takes that and working for like 3 companies and he's getting paid $1,000 from each and every one of these companies, what that simply means is that he's making $3,000 per month, working maybe 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, right? And that's about that's 720, 720, 720, right? That is basically 2.1 million naira every month, working 6 hours a day. From the comfort of his home, he can either be in Nigeria or he can travel to another country, and he can be anywhere and work and still get that work done as long as he has his phone or his laptop and he has internet access. Opens you up to a whole lot of opportunities. Okay, moving forward. Now that you understand what freelancing is, let's move on to the 4 secret steps that you can actually use to get this. Step 1, get a high income skill. Now, what is a high income skill? So let me explain it. So skill, basically, in my best definition, is how valuable you are in the economic world. So like I said earlier, the more profound your skill is, the more in demand it is, the more special it is, the more you get paid. Now, a high income skill is basically a skill that has the ability to get you paid thousands of dollars and is also high in demand. Now, what does this mean? Quite simple. So let's say someone is a janitor now. They are not getting high paid because like it's high in demand, right? Every company needs someone who will clean. Like even me, I have a cleaning company I pay to come clean my apartment every month, right? But like anyone can do this. Even me, so if I decide that okay, I want to clean my apartment, I can clean it, right? So why that is high in demand, it doesn't fit the criteria of a special skill and you can get paid thousands of dollars easily for it. It doesn't fit into that narrative, right? And that's why it's not a high income skill. But a high income skill is something that gets a high in demand and you can also get paid thousands of dollars for it. So a simple example of that would be web design, web development, copywriting, content writing, technical writing, UI, UX design, programming, any of these digital skills. And another thing to note here, you want to make sure that this is actually, what do we call it? A digital skill, right? Because you are going to be doing everything online. So you want to make sure that you can actually exchange, you can actually do all of this from the comfort of your home or wherever you are, whether you're at your work or at school or this thing, you can actually do this work from wherever you are, right? So that's the step 1 of this formula you want to do. And this is where most people get it wrong because they just think, oh, I want to learn this skill, and they just learn any skill. They don't niche down, they don't plan ahead, they don't plan ahead of the curve. And if they just learn any skill, sure, you might get jobs, but you're not going to get jobs that are going to pay you thousands of dollars. Like that's the main cocoa here if you actually want to leverage it, right? Because there are different skills, right? You can be a graphic designer, but if you're not a graphic designer who can do motion designs or design YouTube thumbnails, you're not going to get paid thousands of dollars working for foreign clients. Because people are not going to be, your skill is not a high income skill, basically, right? So you want to make sure that you get that right. You want to make sure that what you are doing is a high income skill. I'll say, so if you are following me, guys, if you are following me before we move on to the next step, simply just type 2 in the chat distance and let's proceed, okay? All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. I love how engaged you guys are going with this. So let's proceed. So step number 2, the importance of this step is the more demand, the more money you make, right? Because it's high in demand. So the more demand, the more money you make. The faster you'll be able to progress and see success, and the harder it becomes for you to fail. It's quite simple. When you have skill, you have economic, when you have a skill, you have an economic importance out there in the real world, in the distance, right? And now, if you have a high income skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars, it improves your rank and improves your listen. It becomes more difficult for you to fail because number one, it's always in high demand. So people are always going to need what you do. If you're a web designer, people are always going to need websites to be built. Tons of businesses are coming out every day, right? Even like take an individual like me, I have like 3 websites, right? And I have web developers and web designers have paid to actually build those for me, right? So that's just me. Now imagine we are how many are we in it for? About 8 billion currently, right? Now, and there are tons of businesses being developed online. So there's always demand for writers, web developers, UI UX designers, programmers, and there's always tons of demands that are being generated every single day for those kind of high income skills. So the more demand there, the more money you can make, and the faster you get to see progress. Because instead of you just learning an average skill that's not in demand, and let me explain this better for you in a more distant, right? So if you have a skill that is in high demand but it's not high paying, you are going to suffer. You want to make sure your skill has these 2 things: high in demand can get you paid, and high paying basically get you paid thousands of dollars. Because if you have a skill that is in high demand but can't get you paid thousands of dollars, voila for you, because you can do as much as 10 jobs in a week. And if you're getting paid just $20 per job, you're making just only $200 a week, right? But if that skill is in high demand and high paying, then you either just have to do just 1 job per week, making $1,000 per week. Like take the testimony I showed you earlier on in this video about the guy who designed it for $800, right? If he just designs only 4 websites a month, that's 800. And let's just say he charges 800, but 800 is actually quite low if you're working. You should be charging anywhere from $1,500 upwards, right? But like that was like his first or second gig, so he's still like gearing into it, right? So now, if he decides that, okay, 800, 800, 800, 800, 800 times 4 is basically $3,200 per month, right? And now convert that to Naira. That should be, that's over how many million? Let's just do the math quickly here on my phone. 20,200 times 720. That's 2.3 million at today's rate per month, right? Do you see why you want to actually have a high income skill? Set you apart from the rest. You're not going to have to struggle. You're not going to have to struggle in this online thing. You're not going to have to struggle for long before you start seeing progress. Okay. In step number 2, position yourself on platforms you can get seen by foreign clients. Sorry, my slide's a little bit mixed up here, right? Now, the importance of this step is that you get paid strictly in dollars. You get high-paying jobs faster and less competition if done properly. So this number 2 step is positioning yourself where you can get paid and seen by where you can get seen by foreign clients. Now, how do you do this? You do this on platforms like Upwork, by using freelance platforms like Upwork, be here, you're using freelance platforms like Upwork, freelancer.com, Fiverr, and the rest of that, or social media platforms. But specifically, when it comes to social media platforms, we're talking about social media platforms like LinkedIn, which is a work network, right? Which is basically like a work social media platform. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, right? You're going to learn how to use your system. Like, take for instance, let's take a trip into my Upwork account, right? So you can see right here, Walter Eyinnaya, as a copywriter, right? So if you look at this now, a web designer for my blog post, right? So this is like a small job that won't take you like a day to finish. And the person's budget is $150, right? So that's like basically 100K for that job. If you can get it done today, you get 100K paid. Now let's look at this. Convincing landing page copywriting. The person is willing to pay nothing below $20 per hour to $45 per hour for 30 hours per week, right? So if I apply to this job, and this person has spent over $20,000 hiring people, right? So if I decide to apply to this job and eventually I get this job, right? I get this job at let's say the lowest rate the person is willing to pay, which is $20. 20 times 30 hours a week, that's 600. That's basically, I'm earning $600 per week from working 30 hours a week for this person, right? $600 times 4, that's $2,400 per month. $2,400 per month times 720 is basically 1.7 million naira every single month. And if it's 600 times 720, that means you're earning 432,000 naira every single week working for this particular client, right? It gives you that leverage to be where other people will never be in years. It pushes you forward, it propels you forward. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to struggle with others when you can go above and beyond in the shortest possible time, right? So let's continue moving forward to what we're talking about, right? Okay, so let's continue. So like I said, you get paid strictly in dollars. You get high paying jobs faster because those are the guys who are always like, they're always building out businesses and they are always needing writers and the rest to come and work with them. And you get less competition if this is done properly. Way less competition, okay? Now, this is where the real money is made actually, because when you are in front of people who are going to hire you, and you can do this simply by either applying to jobs on Upwork or doing outbound outreach on LinkedIn, reaching out to CEOs. Let's say a company posts a job and you just reach out to the CEO and like, hey, I saw that you don't go in the manner of, hey, I saw that you guys are looking for anything, because then what they are going to tell you is that's what most people do. They're going to tell you, okay, submit me your CV and the rest of that, right? That's not what I'm teaching you actually, because that's the way average people do it. And that's why average people are not making as much money as I am or my students are, right? You don't do any of those kind of things. What you do is quite simple. You find the CEO or any other decision maker. It can be the chief revenue officer, the co-founder, there's so many decision makers, right? It can be the chief editor or the rest of that. And now what you do is you take a stock of what the problems they have on their job description, and then the way you frame it, I'm going to give you a template for this actually. You frame it and DM it to them. Now the next thing they're going to tell you is like, lovely. I would love to get on the call. Let me know when you're free. Now, when you get on that call, that's it. You close them, right? And that's where you propel yourself and put your, because on average, it takes about 36 days for a company to make a hiring decision. So what you are doing is not just providing value, but you're making their job easier for them, because basically, this thing, you are shortening down the hiring process and giving them better value. And at the same time, you're not going to have to go through the whole CV, submitting your resume, bullshit, and the rest of that. You just go straight to where the money is. And that's one of the best things you can actually do for yourself, okay? Question, how does one separate themselves from other freelancers offering the same services as them? And that's quite simple. You don't do what majority of people are actually doing. You do something like what I just gave you an example, right? That's a question for you. How does one separate themselves from freelancers offering the service at them? Because just because you're offering the same services doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that one person can do all the job in this world, right? Like take for instance, I'm a copywriter, right? I then apply to that job I just showed you where the person is willing to pay nothing below $20 per hour. But other copywriters will apply to it, right? There's tons of demand for this kind of this. And I have people who have hired myself who are working for me. There's tons and tons of demand. So to answer this question simply, you separate yourself by doing what 80% of freelancers are not doing, or 80% of people in the job hunting space are not doing. And I just explained that briefly, which is basically you reaching out to decision makers, you creating compelling offers, which is I'm going to be showing you next. That's the answer is you create the next answer. Another answer is you creating compelling offers. I'm showing you in the next slide and the rest of that, right? So another way you can separate yourself, which is basically step 3, is for you to create compelling offers. Now, what is compelling offers? It's quite simple. Let's say I am a writer, copywriter, and you're a writer, copywriter, and then someone posts a job that they need copy written for their, what should I use? Let's just use this, right? For their water company, right? Now, we both apply to this job, or we are both reaching out to this person. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to only create an offer when you're applying to a job. You can create an offer and actually go out there and help companies achieve that, right? You can just see companies that have no blog, and you can reach out to them on LinkedIn. I'm like, hey, I can see you have no blog post. This is affecting your index on Google. So I can help you create blog posts every week, and you just pay me $800 per month, or $1,000 per month, or $1,000 per month, depending on how much you actually call, right? And Simple stuff. You get them ranked on Google, and that's a compelling offer compared to the writer who just says, "Oh, I am a content writer. Hire me, blah blah blah." Right? Like that person will eventually get hired. But number one, the perception the person has is not that high. The position the person has is not that high. So if you are applying to a job that or reaching out to CEOs like that and you're getting paid $1,000 per client you get to work with or per month you're working with that client, that person who is just like, I'm just a writer, I can do this for you, I can do blah 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 for you, is going to be getting paid $500, $400, even less because they didn't position themselves well, right? So like I was saying earlier, what separates me, a copywriter, and you, a copywriter, if we're applying to the same job? Now, what most average copywriters do is quite simple. They simply just, or freelancers, doesn't just use copywriters. If they're applying to a job for someone who wants a company, write a copy written for a WhatsApp like this, something like that, right? What most people will do, what 90% of people will do, is simply, hey, I see you're looking for a copywriter to write blah 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 about your water company. Yes, what I've written, blah blah blah. Please hire me, right? That's bullshit. Like that will get you hired, but like it reduces your chances of not just getting you hired faster, but it won't get you hired that fast, and reducing your chances in that level, but also how much you get paid. So you want something that you can get paid, you can get hired really fast for a job, and also get paid really well and really big for that job. Like that's where the superpower is in this freelancing thing of ours, and that's what I teach people. And that's why my students collectively, over 2,000 plus of them, have been able to generate over $1.5 million in closed gig in just under 1 year under my tutelage, right? Now, back to what I was saying. Now, if I am applying to this thing, what I'm simply going to do is, first of all, I'll acknowledge what he wrote in the job post. And if I can find his name, that's awesome. If I can't find his name, that's fine. I can see I'm looking for someone to write a product description about your water company. I can do that, and I'll also write the emails that will onboard people into your company and also streamline your email series or your blog outreach. I can do all of this for you. You can add those two extra as free. And you say adding it for free, but if the client is like they're willing to pay $1,000, what simply just says, all right, I can add those two for free, and I'll basically just but I'll do the job for you for $1,500. And boom, that offer is there because you're saving them more time and giving them more value. And they are going to be, and once they hear the word free, basically you added your price for the listing, but you're calling it free, right? And the person is going to want to work with you for that, right? So stuff like this, what I'm going to be showing you today, right? And how you can actually utilize it to get paid. And finally, step 4 is the easiest process. And the important process, you separate yourself from competition, you set your own prices, and you get paid more when you create your offer. So you see what I just showed you, a practical life example of how that works. You don't have to stress yourself. You don't have to stress yourself thinking, hey, how am I going to do this? How am I going to separate yourself? Because I am going to show you exactly what you need to do, what you need to say, and how you need to structure that offer to get paid more, to separate yourself from the competition and set your own prices. Okay. Then step 4 is quite the simplest. Get hired and get paid. Awesome, right? So simply once you have step 1, which is get a high income skill, step 2, which is position yourself where you can find foreign clients to hire you or to work with. Step 3, create compelling offers. Step 4 is simply get hired and get paid thousands of dollars. And the advantage of this step is quite simple. You can afford a better lifestyle. You stop earning in naira and start earning in dollars. So your income is no longer reducing, because like as of last month, it was like 600 and something naira, 650 naira or so to $1, right? And now it's 720. Imagine. So basically, just from last month to this month, your income has, if you're earning in naira, maybe you're earning 200K or 500K a month, your income has already reduced. Your purchasing power has already reduced again without you doing anything with that. And it's not your fault, but however, it is your fault if you don't decide to actually upgrade your income and switch to earning in dollars, or have a side business, or say something that is making you earn in dollars. And nobody sees you as, and the third one is nobody sees you as a failure or doubts you again. Maybe you're at home and like, well, when are you going to get a real job? This is your online thing you're always doing. When are you going to get a real job? Or everyone is like, you can't afford what you want. And basically, I know what it feels like to be jobless, actually. Everybody thinks you're not doing anything else, the rest of that. Right? You'll be able to put everyone to shame and actually live your best life, because not only will you be out earning everyone around you, but it also puts you also get a better CV, a better resume structure, CV, work experience working with foreign companies, international companies, and businesses. Okay. So far, we have covered what freelancing and how you can get started. You have to find foreign companies and this thing that'll pay you in dollars. How to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients. The 4 fail-proof steps needed to become a Nigerian freelancer earning in dollars, and lots more, right? Which is totally awesome, right? And if you've been following me up to this point, I simply just need you to reply with the word, type the number in the chat box 4 if you've been following me up to this point, okay? Awesome. So let's proceed. Now, if you are still listening and eager to become a high-paid freelancer, then you are in for a treat because I have something special for you. And you will agree with me that it's been a time well spent so far. I can't cover everything up in an hour's webinar, even if we had all day. So here's a special offer that you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you a very special deal, okay? What if when it comes to making money online, you can actually eat your cake and have it too? What if you can actually learn the skill, have that skill, get a certificate for that skill, be having that as part of your distance, as part of, will I call it, your bio for the rest of your life, and still get to make a shitload of money from it? And by shitload, I mean thousands of dollars from it. Wouldn't that be better? Right? I mean, chances are that this isn't your first time or online making money opportunity you're hearing about, right? You've probably heard of a lot and you're like, but you're always thinking the risks of getting into this, right? I mean, you might have heard of others, but you never got in because you've been asking yourself this question: how do I minimize the risks and pressure that comes to making money online while I maximize its benefits, right? And you can see a picture of a man jumping into water, into a river here, basically. You see, when it comes to taking risks, you're either the type of person who jumps headfirst into risks, or you slowly ease yourself. Like basically, you either just jump into a random lake or pool, you don't know the depths, and you just jump in, say you want to swim, and you can break your neck, you can break your bones if you are wrong, or you can actually put your legs first, then put your hand, put your legs, and start easing yourself into that. Which of these do you think works better? Obviously, the latter. The second one works better because you get to actually eat your cake and have it, and also take things at your own pace. You have to minimize, you get to minimize the risks and pressure that comes with making money online, and also maximize its benefits, right? You're not playing a game of luck here. You're playing a game of full intention that's going to take you to where you want to be in the shortest time possible and in the fastest way possible. Now, before I proceed, please note, don't let old habits stop you from taking advantage of this, okay? You know, that those kind of old habits where like, can I do this? What if I can't do this? And those doubts that come up in your head and try to creep up on you that has kept you in the same place you've been for the last few months, few years, and the rest of that, right? You don't want stuff like that to actually stop you from taking that. Now, with that said, I would love to personally invite you to the High Paid Freelancer Premium Program. Now, to help you decide if this is for you, here's what you get when you join as a new member today. Section number 1 is the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course that is designed to take you from $0 to $6,000 in 4 months. All right. So what you're going to be learning here is how to register and open your Upwork account, which is number 1 thing, because people charge 10K, 5K, and a lot for that kind of stuff. You don't need that. If you know how to actually open Upwork accounts, it's simple for you. You're going to learn how to open an Upwork account. Number 1, open it the right way. You're going to learn how to write your profile, how to set up your profile, how to write proposals that would get people to say, hey, what's up? I love your proposal. I would love to work with you, right? You're going to learn how to filter clients, how to filter low-paying jobs from high-paying jobs. Basically, everything taken from you and everything being taught to you here is going to be step-by-step to actually help you earn at least $6,000 in 4 months or less. And looking at the testimonials I've shown you earlier, that's not a big deal. That's nowhere near a big deal because that's like $6,000 in 4 months is basically like $1,500 per month, right? And are you trying to say that people who have achieved this, my students who have achieved this, they are way more special than you? They are doing something that you are actually not doing? Nope. You yourself, you can actually achieve this too. Because like a question you should constantly ask yourself in life is, why not me? If it's happening for them, why not me too, right? And that's a very, very valid question, okay? All right, let's proceed. Now, section number 2, what you're going to be learning is the LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition Masterclass. How anyone can find and close high-paying clients on LinkedIn without relying on luck, right? And this is awesome because LinkedIn has over 800 million active users, right? And out of 800 million, Even if it's like 2 million that are CEOs, right? Are you telling me that you cannot reach out to at least just, you don't need to reach out to, you're not reaching out to a million CEOs. That's absurd, basically. You just need to reach out to like 100, 200, and you're getting your first job, and they can be paying you anywhere from $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and the rest of that, right? This is the second thing you're going to get. You're going to learn how to get high-paying clients with your skills. So if you're already someone who has a high income skill, you're already a copywriter, you're already a web designer, you're already a programmer, you're already into web development, you're already into UI UX design, that's awesome, right? And if you do not have any of those kind of skills, stick with me. I have something very, very special for you, okay? So you learn that in the LinkedIn Outdoor Acquisition Masterclass. You're going to get written templates on what to say to CEOs when you reach out to them, how to reach out to them, and the rest of those kind of things, right? You're going to learn all of those things inside the High Paid Freelancer Premium program when you get in as a member today, okay? Now, section number 3 you're going to get is the Facebook client acquisition system. How to find more clients than you ever need on Facebook without you spending a dime. And that's something very important you need to note, because after the initial payments you're going to be making today, you're making absolutely no payments to get a client on any of these platforms, like literally zero payments, okay? So section number 3, you're going to learn how to join Facebook groups, relevant Facebook groups. I'm going to give you a list of them. You're going to be able to join them. You're going to be able to find clients on these clients, get them to come to your personal Facebook profile, or get them to come into your DM and actually work with you and get you paid. I give you a breakdown of how I did it. I show you my charts, the screenshots, step-by-step process of how I was able to actually achieve this in the Facebook client acquisition system, right? So you're going to learn this. And with just the knowledge from only Upwork alone, I've shown you the testimony of my students who have made over $10,000, $20,000 on Upwork, right? You will be able to make way more than that. You'll be able to make a whole lot of money from that. Now, imagine if you combine the Facebook, LinkedIn, and this thing, Upwork modules together. You don't have to do all of them. You can just simply focus on only one module, and you're getting paid nothing below $8,000 per month, right? That's awesome. So now what you're getting is the Upwork friendly, sorry about that, beginner friendly Upwork mastery course, which is worth over 100,000. The LinkedIn outbound client acquisition masterclass, worth over 150,000. The Facebook client acquisition system, worth over 100,000, which is total to 350,000 naira. But you're absolutely not going to be paying 350,000 naira. Like, you're not going to be paying even half of that amount. But this is the worth of it. And if you doubt me, simply just go out there and find a course that has a standard, the program has a standard of getting that your students are making thousands of dollars every month, and then look at how much it's priced. Okay? It's not going to be priced at anything less than $150 or $200 or $100 as minimum, and that's still well over 7,000 there, right? And it's not going to give you everything you're actually going to be getting in here, okay? But that's not all. I wanted to make this really simple for beginners, for those of you who are entirely new, and this is the first time you're not freelance and that. So, and for those who don't have digital skills yet. So when you join the High Paid Freelancer Premium program today, you're also going to get skills, but not just any type of digital skills, but high income skills, personally vetted and gone by me. These are skills that are making my students thousands of dollars every month. And I'm going to hand them to you on a platter of gold for you to learn step by step, and how you can actually go through it. I have hired subject matter experts in these areas to come and create courses on, create teachings on these courses and this step by step on how you can learn the skill from a beginner to like a pro in the fastest time possible, and actually get to use those skills to get high paying clients, okay? And not just high paying clients, high paying foreign clients, okay? So the first high income skill you get when you get into the HPF today is the kick-ass copywriting course. How to write copy as a beginner that will get you paid, that will get you more sales, clients, and money than you can ever imagine. I am a copywriter, right? And I make at least nothing less than $5,000 per month with my skill, right? You're going to learn how I do it. You're going to learn copywriting. You're going to learn how to write emails, sales pages, sales letters, email copywriting. Basically, you're going to learn how to write Facebook ads and the rest of that. And why this skill is so valuable is quite simple, okay? The reason this skill is so valuable is because if, let's say, for instance, a company is selling, let's just use water again, because that's actually what's around me, right? So let's say a company is selling water, and if they are doing only 100 sales on average, if I come in there and maybe write their emails for them, they start doing 500 sales on average, right? Obviously, I've made them more money, so they're going to be willing to pay me a whole lot more money too if I'm charging $2,000 or $3,000 for my work, right? That's what you're going to be learning how to actually utilize. Second, and here's one of my students who is a copywriter, and you can see, I also wanted to thank you because your course opened the way for me. And this is from Keva. Keva's story is so special to me because when she joined last year, or when she joined earlier, she was like, her mother was asking her, when is this your writing stuff going to pay, right? She was trying to get into writing, and it was not actually, she was not actually seeing any progress until she got into the course, right? And her mom was like, when is this stuff going to pay, right? And now you can see, fast forward, she's gotten an iPhone. What iPhone is that? I don't know. I think, but she bought an iPhone. She has made over $3,000 plus on Upwork, and not just on Upwork. She has also made she has also made thousands of dollars outside Upwork on LinkedIn and the rest of that. And she's just 19 and going to 20, right? She's like, Walter, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah. I like to call my students my boss because like it's basically whining and they don't used to agree. We're always fighting out over it, right? But that's basically it, right? So that's what you get. That's one of the benefits you can see in this year alone. And let's just take, we're not even going to calculate all of her this thing. Let's just simply calculate only what she's made on Upwork. But Upwork is not like a major working platform for some of my students, right? Like me, I don't super work on Upwork every time, okay? So this year alone, she has made over $4,000. But last time I talked about $4,000. $4,000 on Upwork, right? 4,000 times 720, she has to be like 2.8 mil, right? Now, let's say factoring exchanges is still nothing less than 2 mil a month, right? 2 mil on Upwork so far this year. And if you calculate about 6 months or 7 months when she shared this with me, that's about 300, 400K a month, basically working for foreign clients on Upwork alone, right? And sure, that is not a lot of money, but an extra 400K every month, doesn't matter if you're a married colleague or something, it's actually going to help you, right? You're going to feel the ease of pressure on your financial situation when you can earn something that small or something that extra a month. And this is you actually doing the bare minimum, or this is basically you at your beginning stages. When you start getting to the pro level, like some of my students, or basically me, where you are done, you say if you're having a bad month, the worst you can make in a month is about $3,000. Like that's where you start seeing. I'm going to be showing you my students who actually do this. Okay, so let's proceed. That's where everything changes. Okay. So now you're getting the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, the LinkedIn Outbound Client Masterclass, Facebook Client Acquisition System, and basically Kick-Ass copywriting course worth over 50,000 naira, right? And that brings the total to this to 400K, right? But you're not going to be paying any of that amount, okay? So stick with me. Now, the second high income skill you get is the content writing and content marketing crash course. Learn how to create and write simple content that goes viral for businesses. Now, this is a very relevant high income skill because you can create content, you can create content calendars, you can help businesses structure their content instead of just posting randomly on social media. You help them look at the dates. Let's say tomorrow is like Christmas or October 1st or any of those kind of events, and you can plan and create content around that event, and not just creating the content. It doesn't have to be video content. It's what I'm mainly teaching here is content writing, right? Written content for their social media posts, for their Twitter, for their Facebook, for their LinkedIn, for the rest of their distance, right? And present it on them. And you can also give them creative ideas. Now, companies pay a lot for this. I have a student who is making over 250 per Instagram account she's handling for e-commerce businesses. So what she just does is just basically she writes their captions and send it to them. They take the picture of their choice and just put a caption under it and paste it. And for like each e-commerce brand she's working with, they're paying her $250. Now that might seem like small money, but she's working with over 5, right? So that's like 1,250, right? And creating captions doesn't take up at more than 10 minutes per day. So you see how valuable that is, okay? And here's one of my students out here, because I love showing testimonials of my students who got into my program, learned these skills, and actually went out there to get money, right? So you can see Ella goes, we have been using Upwork for payments, but it's still good for me though. I'm going to build momentum from there. Imagine my first gig on Upwork being $1,000. By the end of this month, I should be on $2,000, and that's enough momentum for me. And last time I spoke with Elo, he has done over $3,000, right? But now imagine your first gig on Upwork being $1,000, right? And obviously, imagine like how much would you be willing to pay for a program that, or for learning something that your first job could be 720,000 naira, right? I mean, if someone even told you to pay 720,000 naira, it's still a very sensible investment because basically you're going to actually make way more than that down the line, right? But you're not going to pay any of those high amounts. You're not going to pay up to 700K. You're not going to pay up to 500K, right? I'm going to be revealing the price to you shortly. So let's proceed. And next thing you are going to learn is high income skill number 2, which is the full stack digital marketing course, right? You're going to learn digital marketing, all about digital marketing, how to the strategy focus on increasing reach and visibility for your business, for businesses. You're going to learn YouTube, how to do marketing on YouTube, social media marketing. It's full stack, right? And full stack digital marketing encompasses social media marketing, email marketing, content marketing, and the rest of that. You're going to learn all of this, all stacked into one course. On average, any company or any person who has a digital marketing course is charging no less than, if it's too small, $250, I promise you, right? And this is not basically promise. You can actually do your research and you're going to actually see it out there, guys. So you can, and basically, you're going to be getting all of that knowledge inside the HPF Premium when you join us as a member today, okay? So here's one of my students who does social media marketing, Ransom Oluputun, and he goes, completed yesterday, truly what you say about clients that pay high on the high side is very true. I don't even want to work for low-paying clients anymore moving forward. I don't see shege for their hand. Got on that $600 gig, and I'm supposed to start this weekend. Good morning, Sir Walter, right? And if we can zoom into this, how much was that first job? Let me see if I can see it here. Okay, okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah, it is $800, right? So you can actually see that, right? So take in a space of 2 weeks, he has earned 800 plus $600, and that's, how am I even carrying my phone? That's $1,400, right? And at today's exchange rate, that's over ₦1 million in the space of 2 weeks. Are you saying how much more? Are you saying? I hope you can actually imagine yourself being in this situation right now and seeing how much your life would change with an extra $1,400 every 2 weeks, right? Your life is going to be way different from what it is now currently. You'll be able to even travel to some countries if you actually want to, or maybe to afford most of the things you actually want. And I think one of my favorite things about freelancing is not just the amount of money being paid, but the ease of work, right? Like you don't have to enter Lagos traffic or enter any traffic or go on the road and start doing any of those things. You are simply in your house, or maybe if you want to go to your workspace, that's fine. But basically, you get to do it from your own comfort zone and actually get to do the work there, okay? So now what you're getting is the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, the LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition Masterclass, the Facebook Client Acquisition System, the Kick-Ass Copywriting course, the Content Writing and Content Marketing Crash course, Full Stack Digital Marketing course, and that brings it all to this. We're not going to be paying any of those amounts, right? Now, the first high income skill you're going to be learning today is you're going to get when you get into HPF. And keep in mind, you don't have to learn all of this. You're not going to learn all of this, not at all. You just have to pick one. You can pick social media marketing, which is one we're on right now. You can pick that, pick the Upwork Client Acquisition System, combine those two, and you're making at least $1,000 per month. Or you can pick copywriting, and also just learn only LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition method, and you're still making nothing less than $1,000 per month. This has been built basically into an academy that is fail-proof. This is why my students are the best in Nigeria currently, like literally. This is why it's literally almost, in fact, impossible for you to fail unless you don't put in the work, right? And that's it. Okay, so social media marketing school, how anyone can power of social media marketing to get clients and build businesses, right? You are going to learn how to actually use social media marketing. I'm going to show you one of my students. I think you've already seen his testimonial earlier. That's Anetis Effiong, right? That says he works just 10 minutes a day and is making over $1,000. That is social media marketing. That's the power out there, right? And yeah, it is, right? So you can see I make $1,000 per week. That's his testimonial. $1,000 sorry. He makes $1,000 for the gig, and he still brought them results. And his new job is worth $6,000 for 6 months, right? So basically, in conclusion, he's making about $2,000 each month currently, working way less hours than the average human being. Because take for instance, if you live in Lagos or one stressful region, basically if you are before you even get to your work, you already spent like 1 hour commuting, or if not something more, going through some early stress, right? And at the end of the month, you're getting 200K a month off. That's being generous. Right? At the end of the month, you can make 500K, or that's still me being generous. You can make 100K a month, right? That makes no sense. When you can actually do less work and get paid more than, if you call it times 100 more, times 450 times more, doing less work in a more comfortable environment, being able to afford what you want and whenever you want it, and the rest of that, okay? So now what you're getting is the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, the LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition System, the Facebook Client Acquisition System, Kick-Ass Copywriting course, the Content Writing and content marketing crash course, the full stack digital marketing, the social media marketing school. Okay. Now, high income skill number 5 we're going to learn is UI UX designer for beginners, right? And one thing I always love to do is if someone comes into my program and they're like, hey, Walter, I'm a graphic designer. I'm like, are you a basic graphic designer? Or are you a graphic designer who knows how to do motion designs and the rest of that? Don't worry about all these technical things I'm talking about, right? And they're like, hey, it's only just basic graphic designs, right? You upskill to this kind of thing. Now, a graphic designer can get paid $1,000 per month. That's not difficult. But as a UI UX designer, getting paid $3,000 per month is like it's like an average out there, or $2,000 per month per job, right? And here's like an example of what I mean. So here's one of my students, Philip Odulaja. He is a UI UX designer, and he goes, he dropped the offer. There was a company offering him to come and work in Portugal, but he didn't like their pay, right? He's like, I'm working with a Berlin firm now, $40,000 per annum. They pay monthly, so that's around $3,000 plus per month. So now that's about $3,500 plus per month, right? And if you calculate that into naira, I think we've already done the math for that kind of stuff. We find like 2 point something million naira per month, right? And you can just be a fresh graduate like Philip, right? And you're making that amount of money. You see how awesome that is, right? And you can see the beginner friendly. So what you're getting is the beginner friendly upper mastery course, the LinkedIn outbound distance, the kick-ass copywriting course, content writing, the full stack digital marketing, social media marketing school, the UI UX design course. And listen to this because I want you to understand all you are getting in this program, right? And listen, which brings out to over 750,000 there, but you're not going to be paying 750,000 there for this. And each of these on separate cost nothing less than 100,000 on separately. If someone is selling it to you separately, and at the end of the day, you don't get the whole benefits. You don't get, if let's say if you learn Upwork on this thing, but you don't have a skill, that's worse, right? Or let's say you learn UI UX design, but you don't know how to get clients using your skill as a UI UX designer, right? Doesn't really work well. Now, high income skill number 6 you're going to be getting is the technical writing course. You see, copywriting is the highest paid writing skill in the world. And for me, our second to that is technical writing. Technical writing is maybe you writing about crypto white papers, you writing technical stuff that I'm breaking it down in simplest terms that most people will not understand, right? And if you know how to do this, if you have this skill in your arsenal, you're getting paid nothing less than $2,000 per month writing this kind of thing, or $1,000 per month, or let's say you're a beginner, you're making at least $500 per month. That's still something, right? I have a student who earns something less than $2,000 per month, and they still give him a bonus of $650 every month. And the technical writer, he is the person I have that is actually creating this technical writing course, and you're going to learn how he has been able to do it and how you can do it for yourself too. Okay. High income skill number 7 when you join the HPF today is web development. I have a student who is also a web developer who makes nothing below $2,000 per month. He is the person that commissioned this course to, because these are subject matter experts. These are experts in their industry, and they're going to be creating it. And you just have to pick one of these high income skills and learn it. Google, go and ask anybody, let's say, or just even within your area, go and meet maybe those, if there's a cyber cafe around your area and say you want to learn web design or web design, you're going to see they're calling you 150K upwards, right, for a single skill. And after you learn it, it's just basically a skill, but you don't know how to use the skill to get clients. So what then is the use if you have a sword and you can't use the cut on it, right? Makes no sense. Now, high income skill number 8 you're going to get is become a rockstar virtual assistant. You're going to learn how to do virtual assistant if that's what you actually want to do. Helping people reply messages, helping people set up this, and helping people scan through different social media platforms, looking for clients, or helping people do outreach and the rest of that. That is a very tangible skill, doing lead generation for other people, right? And you're going to learn how you yourself can actually utilize the skill to get clients. So now you are getting 8 high income skills when you get into the HPF today, and you are not going to have to learn all of them, but they are always going to be yours forever, basically, for a lifetime. So if you decide that, oh, I know UI UX design, but I don't want to do UI UX design again, I want to become a web developer, you can easily switch. And the best part, you are getting certificates for each and every skill you complete in the HPF Academy, right? I'm going to give you full details on that, right? So there's no way for you to actually lose. Or like it's impossible for you to actually lose with the HPF Premium program, okay? So with this knowledge at your fingertips, you can now become a modern day money-making freelance machine, because I've provided you every single thing you will ever need to start as a freelancer, or maybe a freelancer now, but start earning at least $2,000 per month as a freelancer. Every single thing you need, I have provided it to you, right? But wait, there is actually more, right? if you get the high paid transfer payment program today, I'm going to add some extra bonuses for you. Bonus number one, full access to the members area. So you can ask questions, get in touch with me, and have companions on your journey, right? So I come in there and answer questions every now and then. You can actually ask the questions, I will have them. I have assistants who are paid, who are answering questions there. You also get to be in an environment with tons of people who are doing the same thing as you. That gives you that morale, that gives you that boost, that gives you that sense of community and keeps you moving forward. It's also on that secret that makes my students get fast results with freelancing, right? So that's bonus number one you're actually going to get. Bonus number two is access to periodic meetings and mastermind to help you find your feet faster. So sometimes weekly we do these periodic meetings and masterminds where I come and answer your questions, live Q&A, and also show you different ways you can actually use your several different skills or your particular skill to actually get clients, right? So this can be either weekly or bi-weekly. You are going to get access to the recorded ones and the ones we're going to hold in the future when you join the high paying transfer payment program today, right? Free bonus resource number 4, closer secrets, how to close more deals by asking the right questions. So a lot of people know that if like, simplest way to explain this, you are sick, you have a headache, and you go to meet a doctor, and the doctor is like, you have to perform a surgery. You're going to be alarmed because why do you have to perform a surgery, right? But you decide to get a second doctor, and the second doctor is like, okay, is the headache in the left side of your head or in the right side of your head? And you're like, okay, when the headache starts and how intense is the headache and blah blah blah. He asks you certain questions, right? And let's say at the end of the day, the second doctor says, okay, you still have to go for surgery. Now, which of these two doctors would you be willing to pay thousands of dollars to perform a surgery on you for you to maybe survive or get rid of that sickness? Obviously, the second doctor who asks you the right questions, right? And that's it. That's what you're going to be learning from this bonus number 4 on how to close more deals by asking the right questions, okay? Bonus number 5, the 0 to 2K challenge. You are going to get full access to the 0 to 2K challenge that is designed to take you from zero to at least $2,000 in a month. This challenge is accelerated. It's there to actually help you speed up your progress. And if you join today, you can also join us for the one we're going to be holding this November, right? This coming November. But if you're watching this after this, that's still fine. You still get access to this challenge and you can actually utilize it to get the fastest progress in the fastest time possible, okay? Free bonus resource has 6. 3 payment methods to receive your money, right? So one of the things that can actually affect how much money you make is the method you're receiving that money in. Like, take for instance now, the dollar exchange rate is about 720, right? If you are receiving that stuff through the bank, it's bad for you because basically you'll be getting $1,000 at 450K, but that's the 450 there. But if you're getting this from crypto or any of the other payments processors I'll be showing you how to utilize, you are going to be getting your money at nothing below 700,000 naira. If it's $1,000 you're receiving, right? At nothing below $700 to a naira. So that's, you see how much that actually helps you, because you don't want to be working and earning in dollars, but you're not getting the most benefit out of that dollars, okay? And free bonus resource number 7 you get is free 1-year membership to the HPF Academy. Now, the HPF Academy, this is where you're going to be added to. And bear in mind, you're going to get full access to all your skills and the rest of that. But not just that, this is my educational platform. Basically, I showed you how to listen. But you're also going to get certificates for each course you complete. You can add this, post it on your LinkedIn, post it on your distance, add it to your resume and the rest of that, right? You're going to get free 1-year membership to this and the other perks that come with it, okay? Now, you also get certifications for each course you take. And here's an example of the certificates. This thing is here, the instructor who actually does that course will be here, right? I do some of the courses, and I have people who are actually experts who are also putting their courses for us, and you get access to all of these courses, right? So see how amazing that is, okay? As you can see, I've graded everything you need to take your first step on the freelancer part to earning at least $1,000 per project, even if your village people are still chasing you. If you diligently just take one of each of these things I've shown you and put in the work the way it's shown in the program, you are going to make at least $1,000 per month. Like, there's no doubt in my house that that's what you're going to be making, okay? Even if you don't even put into, like, even if you're not working 100 hours a day, or basically, you don't have to work 100 hours a day. You have to just work at least 4 hours a day, basically. Like, there's no doubt that you're going to make at least $1,000 per project, okay? Without you needing much experience, without you needing a degree. So it doesn't matter if you actually completed school. Here's a fun fact. I myself, I didn't complete university. Things were so bad for me when I dropped out before I started freelance in 2018. I had to drop out because I could not afford school fees. My parents could not afford school fees and the rest of that, right? So I had to like actually drop out and start. So till now, I'm not actually a graduate, but like I'm making nothing below from freelancing. I'm making nothing below $5,000 per month working for my clients, right? And you see that you don't need luck, you don't need experience, you don't need without needing much experience, without needing a degree, without needing to wait here at a Nigerian job, without you being the most gifted in your industry, and without you, most importantly, not relying on luck. You have a step-by-step proving process to actually get you to where you actually want to be. Okay. Now, so here's what you're getting. I was going to go through that later, right? Please note, all these materials are in video, PDF, and recording formats, okay? How much does it cost to enroll for the high-paid Freelancer Premium program? Well, in a minute, I'll tell you, but first, I want you to look at this. So here's one of my students, Timileyin Onanobi, right? He was like, I'm coming to Dubai soon. I'm like, once you can afford it, do so. Your mind is straight. And that's true. Dubai is like one of the most expensive cities. But like when you're thinking of you have to pay rent for like 1.5 million naira per month, you're actually going to start seeing opportunities that are going to be making you money of nothing less than 5 million naira per month, right? Because that's one of the but that's mindset stuff. And you're going to learn mindset stuff inside the HPF. That's actually going to be there, right? That's even the first module you're going to go through so that you prepare your mind for it. But basically, what you can see here, he's sharing me his results, and it's like he earned over $8,000 here, 502 this thing. It's like he's earning $15 per hour, right? From one particular client. And that week alone, he has made $1,110, right? In a single week. So that's about 800K in today's exchange rate, right? In 1 week, working for foreign clients, right? Working for high-paying foreign clients. And you can see he goes, Walter, my life has changed, to be honest. At home, my parents don't even look at me the same anymore. He's not a big boy. And this thing, because probably there's a very high possibility he earns more than his parents if his parents are workers, right? And that's the beauty of the internet, basically, right? God, I'm so grateful. I blessed that I messaged you, all right? And you can see that, right? And yes, another message. I have tons and thousands of these testimonials, right? I need a person full time. How old are you? I'm 18. Wow, that's good for you. You should proud of yourself. And like, I can hire you for $750, right? And he got through the processes and they hired him for $750 per month. $750 per month is still good money. It's 10 times above the living minimum wage in Nigeria. 750 times 720. So as of today, he will still be earning 540K per month. That's good money. And here's Philip's testimonial again, the guy who earns $40,000 per year, right? And getting paid at least $3,000 plus per month working as a UI UX designer, okay? And you can see on that one year, bro, I owe you a lot. Ever since I took your advice, I've been getting lots of interviews and I finally got to put a design your website today for $1,300 today. Thank you, sir. Awesome. And you see what I'm talking about? The guy who is charging, one guy, I showed you one of my students who is a web designer, right? And he's charging basically $800 for a website. And someone is charging $1,300. And you can charge as high as $2,500 for a website. You can even start charging maybe $500 per month for maintenance. And that maintenance is not something, it's something that's going to be doing maybe like 4 hours of work in a week or 5 hours or 10 hours of working in a month. Sorry about that, right? And you see that. So there are different levels. Just because you got your first job at $1,000 does not mean that that's the last one you're going to earn. No, that's basically the beginning. That's like your stepping stone. Years from now, months from now, weeks from now, you're going to actually be making way more money than that. And the best part, you still get to keep all of this knowledge forever. Like you have access to it forever. You get certificates, you get a higher placement, and the rest of that, right? And you get to be part of the HPF community, the High Paid Freelancers Academy. And we are doing plenty things with that educational platform because we are going to be collaborating with other companies pretty soon if things go well, and they will be hiring strictly from us and the rest of that, right? So if you're joining now when the price is still low or you're joining, that's entirely up to you, okay? Now, be honest to yourself. How much do you think it's worth for someone to show you how to land a job like this, even if you have a skill? Like for like a job that pays you, you get a job that pays you $1,200. And this is exclusive of the domain and any other business expense the person is going to make, right? How much do you think it's worth for that? If I decide to charge you $500 for this, and you know that's okay, even if you are the laziest person on earth, you can get at least 5 jobs that will pay you $1,500. I'm still making a whole lot more money compared to your initial investment. And $500 is just about 250K. But you're not going to pay 300. You're not going to pay any of that amount today. You're not even going to pay this thing 200K today, right? Now, now remember, here's all you will be getting when you get into HPF Premium programs: the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, the LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition Masterclass, the Facebook Client Acquisition System, the Kick-Ass Copywriting course, the Content Writing and Content Marketing Crash Course for skills, the Full Stack Digital Marketing course, the Social Media Marketing School, the UI UX Design for Beginners, and then some of the extra 3 skills are added, which are being added to the program currently, which is the what do we call it? The technical writing course, which is being added now, right? The virtual assistance course, and basically UI UX and the rest of that, and the rest of that, right? You're going to learn how you can actually utilize all of this. The next thing you're getting is bonuses, right? Bonus number 1, full access to the members area where you can ask me questions, where you can get in our meetings, and you just get to relate to people who are doing what you're doing, skill sets you're doing, and the rest of that. Number 2, how to get your first client in 2 weeks or less. Lifetime access to periodic meetings and mastermind, worth over 100,000. Closer secrets and how to close more deals by asking the right questions. 0 to 2K challenge. This thing plus our 3 new skilled courses that are being added into it, right? You don't want to miss any of that. On average, it won't cost you less than $200 to learn just one of these skills listed here on its own, right? If you want to learn only copyright, and you're not going to show you how to learn clients with copy, or with only copy. Some people are not going to show you how to learn clients with just that skill. It's going to cost you not only $200, or even UI UX design on its own cost way more, or web development on its own cost way more than $200 to learn just one of this. Now, imagine if you want to learn 3 of these skills, that means you have to pay $600 or way more than that, right? But you're not going to pay any of that amount. You won't be paying $20 for everything. Instead, you'll be paying less. And if you get into the high-paid Freelancers Premium program today, you only have to pay a one-time fee of 50,000 naira, and you're still going to get results. Like, take the guy who did it, like the last testimonial I looked at, where someone built a website for $1,300, right? $1,300 times 720 is now 136,000 naira. Imagine you investing 50,000 naira for a one-time fee. You're not going to pay anything again. And then your first gig is at $1,000, like the Ella testimonial also. Or your first gig is at $500, right? That's the like times 6 times 10 of what your investment is, right? And the best part is it's not a one-time anything, it's continuous forever. For as long as you keep doing what I'm showing you, you're going to continue earning more and also increasing your prices and earning way more than that, okay? And still get everything mentioned here. Simply click on the link below to get it. All you have to do is simply click on the link below and you get it now. So as you're saying this now, you guys, yeah, I can see you. Yeah. So simply click on the link below. The button should have appeared. And if you're watching this on the website, you should see a link below. Click on it. Or maybe you're watching this and someone shared the video to join this webinar with you, or show the video of this webinar with you. If you're not seeing a button to click below, simply reach out to that person like, hey, I want to pay for the HPF Premium program. I want to pay for the Hybrid Premium program, right? And the person will share a link for you where you can actually make the purchase, and you will be given access to join us, okay? One more thing. Here are some more testimonials I got from my students this morning. I have testimonials choke, and I cannot put everything because it seems like we're also talking about testimonials without you getting value, right? So here's another one. This is Peter, right? He's a web designer. He's like, how are you? Remember this? Them don't hire me, $2,000 per month, a design role, right? For a design role, web design, right? And that's awesome. Like, you can stay and be earning this in $2,000 per month. That was 1.4 million. That's actually 1.4 million there per month for a simple design. You actually want to look into that, right? And you can look at this other one here. You can see his receipts of payments. It was like $1,200, $1,500 of jobs he has gotten strictly on Upwork. And this is for one of my students who is Cassie, right? And you can see all of this, okay? So if this can happen for them, why not you? What stops it from being you, right? Now, Identity F Young, this was one of his gigs he got again. This same guy I showed you that is making at least $1,000 working less than 10 minutes a month, right? And he goes, I just got a gig of $2,600 and the client wants to make payment now. So he sent me this message. He wanted to ask for a payment, the best payment channel to receive his money, right? So you see what I'm telling you, just because he earned $2,000 or he's earning $1,000 every month doesn't mean he's not going to get other jobs that are going to pay him way more money. I'm not going to be surprised if before the end of this year, he has gotten his first $5,000 gig as a social media marketer, right? And you see what I'm talking about. This is a leverage you actually want to be on to separate yourself from the rest. So you are not at the same way, you are above people and you can actually process your speed faster and make money faster compared to others, okay? And yes, Frances. Frances is a mother of one. And it's like she's also going to be the person who's going to give us our virtual design course, right? She was like, I just got the top rated badge last month. And she has earned, she was like, I got the top rated badge last month. And that's awesome, right? And she was like, on Upwork, I've done over $8,000, but some contracts moved me offline and I've earned more than $3,000 just so in total, let's say this year she has made over $11,000, right? 11,000 times, let's not use 720 because it has fluctuated like so. Let's say from 11,000 times 600, right? That's 6.6 million. And we've so far gone into only 9 months this year. So if we still split 6 million, let's just put that, right? Divided by 9, that she's making an average of like 700,000 naira per month, right? As it, like if you have a family, I'm sure that an extra 700K a month would actually do a lot to ease the cost of school fees and the rest of those bills that are actually trying to press it down in Nigeria, right? I got 4 job offers, 6 job offers on LinkedIn. Thank you, coach. Nice, awesome news. Because by the time you learn this, it's not a matter of how can I get clients with my skills. It's a matter of I have too many clients. How can I outsource jobs to other people to actually do it for me, right? Now let's talk about frequently asked questions. So if number one frequently asked questions, and I'll give you guys permission to ask the questions after this is, can I do this with my phone? And the answer is yes, you can. It all depends on what skill you're offering. If it's writing, then you don't need a laptop to begin, right? Because there are some skills you can actually do with your phone, some skills you can't do with your phone. Like take, for instance, UI UX design or web design, you are actually going to need a laptop, so do that, right? But if you are into technical writing, copywriting, content writing, and maybe social media marketing and whatever, you can actually do that with just your phone, okay? When this program started, I started already. It's an online program that will always be available to you. So as long as this page is up, and anytime you join, you will get access to all the material, skills, and bonuses mentioned above. Okay. What if I have a job or I'm a business student? Can I still do this on the side? Yes. All you need to do is carve out at least 2 hours per day and dedicate to it. And in no time, you should actually start seeing results from what you're doing, right? And start getting more. Not just results is both learning the skill and getting good at the skill if you're entirely a beginner. And number two, this thing, getting paid a lot of money for this thing. And if you can bring out at least 2 hours per day to do it, then you are on the right track, okay? What if I don't have a digital skill? That's not a problem. Currently, there are 5 high income skills you can learn in the program. Now there are 8 high income skills actually, and we are working on adding more. So if you get in now, you're still going to get all of those updates for free as a student of the high paid short-term training program for just 50,000 naira. It's insane, guys. And trust me when I say this, the price of the HPF was like, I think 35,000 naira some few months, like some few weeks ago, and now it's 50,000 naira. And I promise you, it's also going to increase because what we're doing now, like currently what we're doing now already, has never been seen in the African space before. And as we keep getting better and getting more results, getting our students more results, and after that, its price is definitely going to increase. Okay. Am I going to pay for anything else? No, absolutely not. Upon your one-time payment of 50,000 naira, you won't be asked to pay for anything else again. Now, neither will you be needed because this requires no startup cost, okay? And how long until I get my first client and start making money? Now, I could easily tell you that in 2 weeks or less, you make your first client. Like you get your first client and get paid $500 at least, and that way you've paid about 8 times more your initial investment, right? But here is the thing: not everyone's going to get their first clients with that fast, right? For some people, it might take them a month. Like for instance, if you come into the HPF and you already have the skill, that's awesome. So you just have to go to the extra aspect, and it can take you like 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, or maybe even up to a month. But if you don't have a skill, you're going to have to learn that skill first and then start reaching out to clients. So now that can take you anywhere from 3 weeks upwards to actually start doing that, right? But so I'm not going to say that you're going to get immediate results. And sure, we have students who have gotten immediate results, even in less than 30 days and after that. But there's one thing I can guarantee you is that if you focus on implementing ruthlessly and patiently what I've shown you, you get clients paying you an upwards of $1,000 per project and lots more. And as demand for demand for your work rise and you become better, you get even paid more, probably much sooner than you expect. And that's one guarantee I'm giving to you. It's going to happen much sooner than you actually expect if you implement ruthlessly. How long will I have access to the program and access to everything you promised not to sign up today? You will have a lifetime access to everything, so you can relax and go through it at your own pace, right? How long will it take me to go through the program and start implementing? Usually, it depends on your hunger for success and how fast you can learn. It takes most of my students 15 days, like I said, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to learn, but you can do it faster, or you can take you much more time if you need to go through it twice or just like that. But the best thing is that you have a lifetime access to this, and you can access it whenever you want. So you go through it at your own pace, and you get in before the price increase, right? Do I need to go through every section of the program before I get my first client or start making money? No, you don't. You can choose just the Upwork section, you watch and implement and get your first client, or you can choose just the LinkedIn section and maybe learn copywriting or learn web development and still get paid at least $2,000 per month, $1,000 per month, and the rest of that. Most of my students got their first clients. In fact, I would say 99% of my students have gotten their first clients without finishing the program. You don't need to finish it. It's there it's made that way so that you have absolutely zero reason to fail. Like, it's impossible for you to fail when you actually go through it and take action. Okay. So you don't have to go through all the high income skills. Just pick one high income skill. Then you can use either 2 or 3 client acquisition methods being taught at the earlier sections of the program and start getting paid for it. Okay. With the price of the program increase anytime soon, and the price and the answer to that is definitely yes, it's going to increase, right? Because take for instance any of the skills you want to separate from the HPF that you're getting everything in box compressed and given to you basically free of charge at no cost for 50,000 naira. If you want to learn only copywriting, people charge as high as 60,000 naira for a copywriting program. Or if you want to learn basically UI UX design, it goes from like 100k, 150k, 200k up, or web development cost more than 250k up to learn only web development. But you are going to be getting access to this that costs all of this. And even Upwork and getting clients on Upwork and the rest of that. You're going to get access to all of this for 50,000 naira only. And it's a one-time payment, and you get lifetime access to everything being promised and given to you. Yeah, once you make payments, you're going to start seeing everything on your dashboard, and you'll be able to go through it. And don't forget the certificates and the rest of that, okay? So hopefully I have been able to answer all of your questions with this. All you have to do to get into the HPF payment is click on the link below, make the payments, and I will see you on the other side, and you get access to everything. And if you have questions, don't forget to ask them in the group chat and that, and I will answer them, or my assistant will answer them, or any of our top students will answer them for you, okay? So simply click on the link below, and I will see you inside, okay? So I'll be taking questions now, and that's it. So see you inside, okay?